That's really good. What's your last name? That's what I was not gonna say. That's Tom. That's Tom Or. That's what I'm gonna say. Are you related to Organ?
No, at all not. We're okay. You go back far. So where did you train?
Ted's.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. We don't get 12 or 10 grams.
Well.
All right, let me go around.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Sounds
great. Sounds great.
Okay, so Carol, what will happen is, when we're ready to go, you will be the first speaker.
Okay.
So whoever is in charge of this shit, you'll be the first speaker. You'll kind of do your 5-minute thing, who and what you are, what you
Yeah.
offer,
Yeah.
how you are, how
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
So, and then you're welcome to stay.
I'm here for you. I didn't know what to expect, and Logan's on vacation, so I came by myself this time. And especially with the rain, I'm like, I have no idea how this is gonna.
Yeah, we weren't sure either.
So yeah.
Or not. Oh, this is okay. So I'll just.
Hey, good to see you. It's been a bit.
I know.
Yeah, it's been a bit.
How you doing?
I'm glad you're here, glad you're this one.
I know, I had to come to Norman for another thing, so I was like, I'm gonna get her.
Oh, I'm so glad this is a good one.
Yeah.
It was funny. This is gonna be a good one.
So if you open, I just put the lids under. Are you Carol?
This man.
Yes. Absolutely. So we should.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna be
Yes.
talk about what we do, cars and all that. So, this.
Yeah.
And then we
Yeah.
already go a little less.
No,
We gotta.
I used to be a teacher and I public speaking all the time.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was told, so that's what I had in my head, but
All right.
I can.
Come on in. I'll just
I'm-
have you sit in front and I'll introduce you.
I'm
Everybody
flexible.
have a business card? We've got, you're gonna need a business card.
You want to put it in a jar and we're gonna give away? No, sounds great, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, sounds good. Let's get lunch going before we get started.
Yes, I'm first.
Oh, wait on lunch. Get your spot. Yeah. So.
You have a business card, in this last container, we're gonna be doing a giveaway for a marble.
I can stay busy. But I am. I have a place where I have a lot of things in my Patrick is our broker, our new broker. Yes, just got the job. A week ago. Yeah, but he's been here forever. He's been around. Awesome. I'll let those young teach through.
Patrick, you're welcome to put a card here as well if you want. No worries, no worries. The amount of people that hijack someone else's card, frankly, is pretty interesting. The last winner did that. And she wrote Amber and Winter Davis on that, or Amber and Winter Tucker, and then won. So I, she said she never wins anything. And
It's a good strategy.
I don't know. I don't think it was self-fulfilling prophecy. It's not.
So where are we based out of?
More, yeah, so we're local, about 7 years, and not in a pretentious way, but nobody else really does what we do. Grady Carter is actually one of our biggest clients, and I just learned the other day, it's my client, was church together growing up, I didn't know she came as far as very great, that's crazy, okay. But, we do a unique brand, we do a unique service in audio.
Hey, girl.
Right. And so we have a couple different, just a few different actual services that we do packages, and then.
Hey, how are you?
I can't hear you. Hold on.
Automated. It's branded to your stuff, so it's a market.
Okay.
Doesn't follow the same guidelines, there's closing it and things like that, so
So it's unlimited.
that's correct. Although we have things that are impossible. There's a minimum requirement.
Hi, Misty. Can you hear us?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, there you are.
Okay, they're getting their lunch and then they'll be seated. So give us, we've got a sponsor that's going to take about 5 or 6 minutes.
Perfect.
I think he'll probably take longer, but just in case.
Sounds good.
A quasi signature postcard, which is fine, but everything looks like it came from you, that you took the time, like you enroll a client, the next year, 2 years, whatever type of service you're wanting to advise. We send gifts out on your behalf, and we just go through and we handle all of that personalization, all of our information. And closing gifts are one of our top things we do, and that's typically the first gift and services. We have a store on 19th, right? We share a parking lot with some side diners. You're also working on, and we do some different things in the store that are not necessarily built around real estate. Resonate started and it's centered around real estate. And early on when it started, the responses we got was some that we kind of rebranded. So we also serve a lot of title companies. We serve really big corporate business that they're serving. So we do a lot of holiday people, we do a lot of top client services.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Know if you can hear me. Good. Long time no see.
I know. It's been a minute. It's very good to see you again.
Really help you stand out and be, stay top of mind for clients. You get your attention for and our current statistics. For giving me the opportunity to have my car smell like chocolate. So. Oh, no, I didn't want to take. You want me to go ahead?
Yep, you go
Okay,
ahead.
well, fantastic. There's still time if you have any desire to win a marble wood cutting board. Put a business card in
Business
here.
cards here, I'll put it. Did everybody put their cards in?
Anybody?
Anybody else? Okay.
Okay. Well, so my name's Terrell, and I'm with Resonate Gifts. Logan couldn't make it today because him and his beautiful family are in Kansas City enjoying a much needed vacation. So flying solo today, have some flyers or pamphlet if you would like a written form of what I'll say. But we love y'all. Several good clients from this office. Grady Carter's just telling Lauren, right? My short-term memory is terrible. You hit 40 and it goes downhill. Some of you may or may not be able to attest. But we are Resonate Gifts, and our sole heartbeat for why we exist is to help you strengthen and build healthy, memorable, long-lasting relationships with your clients. And our survey and kind of statistics that we find, and you can attest to this, that a lot of times after closing, it's fairly much silence from the realtor as you're on to the next client, you're on to the next listing, the next closing. And so what we've done, we started about 7 years ago. Logan and Paige started it coming off the mission field. They were in India, came back, and had a company called Welcome Home Joe that did a coffee subscription as a closing gift. Fast forward 7 years, we rebranded and expanded, and the success of that little coffee subscription has turned into what we now have at Resonate, which is a really, there's not a whole lot of boundaries. We are local. We actually have a store now in Moore off 19th Street, shared parking lot, Sunnyside Diner. But the three main things that I'll share with you today, in terms of what we offer, and you can read about it more here, is we offer an automated gift marketing service to realtors. And there is no minimum. You don't have to buy a certain amount of things to utilize our services. We have people that budget $20 or less for a closing gift, and that's all they do. And we help them. We have people that will enroll a client into a 3 or 5 gift package over a year or two. And the way that works is that you give us the information of your client, address, you pick the gifts you want, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore. It's automated. We send the gifts out on your behalf. Every gift that goes out shows up with a literal handwritten note card that looks like it came personally from you. So that's the second aspect of what we do, is it's a highly personalized gift giving service. In the oversaturated world of realty, retention and referrals is your business. Currently right now, for every client enrolled in our services, I think it's 0.91 referrals per client enrolled. And if you do some brief math, as you, if you get on our website and look at kind of what the price ranges are, there's no minimum, there's no limit, but your ROI, your return is going to be really high as you're getting almost a referral. You do the basic, what are you making on just one sale? It's high, it's a very high return with a low buy-in. But at the end of the day, it's intended for you to create highly relational touches with those clients. And so we have a lot of unique gifts. We don't do a lot of just swag type items, although we do have tumblers. We also partner with local businesses. Simple Modern is one of our partners. We do a lot of their things, but we have different cutting boards and all kinds of unique things. Actually, what I'm giving away today is our most popular gift. It's also our most popular closing item. And marble wood cutting board. The third aspect of what we do is branding. So what sets us apart with our gift giving is it's not just a closing gift at this point. Within the regulations and rules of how you give gifts and how you serve your clients, your marketing info will go on the back. And so it's now no longer closing gifts. It's now a marketing expense, and there's no limit to what you can spend on that type of branding. And so with these type of gifts, rather than get a simple little gift at closing and they get thrown away or put in a box later, a lot of our gifts are intended to stay in front of your clients, which keeps you top of mind throughout the year. Our newest, and I'll send a picture in the email as some stuff out following up, but we actually have a new design for Oklahoma City homes. It's this marble wood cutting board, but on the wood part, we now have, it's a brand new design. It's not even on the website yet, but we started doing it. It's actually the Oklahoma City skyline, which also has like a little scissor tail kind of off the highway. It's beautiful. You can also put a name under there, and then your info will be engraved on the back. We also have some Norman skyline items as well. If you're doing some work in Norman and you have somebody moving for the first time, or you just want to celebrate, huh? Oh yeah. That's right. Grady's done some of this, and so.
Right, that's what I was saying.
Believe it or not, it's more than just a building or a Gaylord Memorial Stadium. So our three main services, we have new client services, which again is any of the gift packages. You can pick your gifts, you can customize it. We also do a lot of one-on-one meetings, so we curate a lot of different things one-on-one. We had an amendment for Grady. Is it Grady that has a Disney family? Okay, so we did this for Grady, where they wanted to do something highly personal. We came up with a gift package for them to really show their client, like, hey, like, we care about you. We do that all the time. Top client services is another thing that we do. So throughout the year, we curate 2 or 3 new gifts every year. We have one, our second gift of this year is going out in July on one of those new millennial holidays, National Fortune Cookie Day. Hey, make your own fortune cookie kit. It'll show up on that day with a fun little note. And so it's just, again, a memorable little thing as your branding shows them, hey, I thought about you. Andrea Dillard from up the street was at the Norman, the NBR golf tournament a few weeks ago, or whatever that was. And got a text in the middle of her working that day and said, hey, I think she got like this, maybe this cheese knife, or I don't know, got something, but her client was like, hey, thank you so much. I mean, you took the time to send this to me. She took a picture and sent it back to her. It's like, it's on Facebook. A lot of people posted gifts, which is great free plug for you. But we also have a charcuterie board that's going out as our holiday gift. That's our third gift in the top client service. And the way we do holiday gifts goes out right after Thanksgiving, first part of December, because we want you to be first. We want you to not get lost in the shuffle of Christmas, things like that. But yeah, I want to honor my time. I could talk for a while. But new client services, top client services, closing gifts, referral gifts, really any type of gifting at all. We'd be happy to help you connect with your clients. Does anybody have any questions? Anything that you want to ask? I am a rapper. I appreciate that question. I might throw you off. Like, yeah. I do actually. I'm gonna do that right this second. Unless you throw a beat up. I just wanted to see if you're paying attention. But it is true. I am a musician and I do some fun things. But I would love to go ahead and announce the winner while we're here. Stephanie, would you like to be
Oh, sure.
the good guy or the bad guy? All right. Ooh, all right. The winner is it Leigh Edwards?
Oh, Lee.
Lee. So you, I'll follow up with you in an email after, you can get it for yourself, or if you want to use it for a client, either way, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
But yeah, you can, however you want to use it, you can bless yourself or bless somebody else. It's all
Thank you.
good. Absolutely, but again, my name's Carol with Resonate Gifts, and thank you so much for letting me come.
Thank you. Thank you.
And,
All right. Misty, you ready for us? Are you muted? Uh-oh, is she frozen?
Yes, ma'am, I am. Sorry, I was on mute.
Before we get started, I would like to read Misty's bio because it's pretty amazing. Misty graduated cum laude from Oklahoma State University with a master's degree in business entrepreneurship in 2017. Shortly after, she joined Keller Williams Realty Local as the Market Center Administrator. 6 months of studying and learning the models and systems of KW afforded her the opportunity to be promoted to team leader, a role she now served for nearly 4 years. While in her role as TL, Misty has grown the KW local office in Stillwater to its highest agent count, consistent profitability, and profit sharing, and has climbed the ranks in annual production from 7th in the board to 3, and they're inching their way to number 2 actively. She also played a key role in opening and launching KW's local's first independent mega agent office based in Enid, Oklahoma. Misty currently serves as the Stillwater Board of Realtors Education Committee Chair, and in 23-24 has been asked to serve as a SB. What is your board called?
Stillwater Board of Realtors.
Oh, Stillwater. There's a southern that has the same. Okay. Stillwater, become one of the
The
youngest.
Stillwater. Can you?
Becoming one of the youngest members to have this honor. She has also actively served on OAR's Ethics Committee and Young Professionals. Outside of real estate, Misty and her husband Mitch own 2 other businesses serving the agricultural industry. Their ranch raises rodeo and ranch horses and Black Angus commercial cattle. They have trained and shipped horses all over North America, have proven many of the horses they have raised in the arena. Misty is a huge ag and ranching advocate and is involved on a state and national scale with several organizations such as the Oklahoma and American Quarter Horse Association, Oklahoma National Cattle Women's Association, as well as several rodeo, barrel racing, and roping associations. She is an accoladed freelance writer and photographer, incredible photographer, and her work has won several awards and various photography competitions and has been published in several state and national magazines. Wow. All I want to say, this is my friend Misty. Misty and I have known each other since she joined KW, and it's just an honor to have her as a friend, a fellow team lead, and just we go back and forth quite a lot. But here's what was interesting. I called Misty and said, so we do this talk about business on Tuesdays, and you have a couple of agents that I'm interested in, and I wanted to run by you. Who would be a great icon to come and share? And so we were talking about a couple of her top people. And then she made a comment and something that's really busy around here. And I said, what's happening? And she started sharing with me something that she was doing. And I thought, okay, we're kicking the other agents to the curb and we're bringing her on. Because she's doing something and has done something that I wanted her to share with you that I think is something so powerful that we might want to pick up and do the same thing. So with that said, I'm going to pass it over to you if you want to share that, and then we'll kind of ask questions as we go. How's that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Stephanie, do you mind if I'm in?
Uh-oh. Is that us?
I'm gonna add myself one more time to the meeting. I'll over to my laptop real quick. Hopefully that will improve the connection.
Okay.
So she's getting.
She's going to add herself again. Okay.
Yeah.
One second. And then if you could make me the host, that would be great.
Gonna make her the most.
Yes. Let's see.
There, it's coming up. Sorry, had to update.
Okay, there she is. She came up again.
All right, she is now the host.
Okay, you are the host. Wow.
Okay. Can you,
Recording in progress.
can you guys hear me okay?
Progress. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you guys hear me okay?
Hold on, hold on.
Sorry. Let me add myself first and then make me the host back really quick.
Okay.
Got it.
So sorry. Okay. I just want to be able to hear you guys, okay?
There we go.
A minute.
Okay.
Okay.
There we go.
Got it. Screen. So I threw together a little PowerPoint for you guys. It's not anything super special, but so as Stephanie said, I am the team leader over in Stillwater. And we started a lead generation program for our agents, and because we're a strategic office, it kind of falls on the few staff members that we have to make this happen. And so we kind of just created this program and have been using Facebook leads to fill the need to be able to disperse those leads to our agents. So that's where this kind of all came about. Same concept that a lot of teams are using to provide agents or leads to their buyers agents. So this is what she was talking about when I was telling her over the phone that I was a little overwhelmed on some ads that I had ran over last weekend. And I wasn't expecting to get quite as many leads as we did. So these are broken down numbers. I ran 5 command Facebook ad paid campaigns for 5 different properties, advertising those listings. The numbers at the bottom in yellow, the totals are the broken down bare minimum, fully cleaned up numbers. So in total, there was over 144 leads that came in. The difference between the 102 and 144 is the 30 some leads that came in with invalid phone numbers. So we pull those out and we actually put them on an email drip campaign. Our MCA puts them on a smart plan. That's an email drip for 6 months. Since we don't have an active phone number for them, we don't provide those as a lead to the agents in the program. We just try to put them on a drip and get current contact information for them that way. So the active leads that we had then was 102. So for the first property, well, for all 5 properties, we ran the ads for 5 days and we spent $20 per listing. So our CPM on those varied a little bit, but was still quite a bit under the national average for what CPMs are on social media. So we're going to cover those here in just a minute. CPCs were quite a bit lower too. And our cost per lead on average was around 76 to 80 cents a lead. So if you count the total leads. Okay, so just wanted to review with you guys really quick. This information is also in command. You can click on the little I in your report section of your ads, and it will tell you what these actually mean. But so CPM is your cost per 1,000 impressions. So for Facebook, which is where I ran these ads, an impression is just how many times it's put on the screen for people to see it. So if you weren't clear as to what that metric is, it's a standard online marketing metric that we utilize to be able to hold our money accountable, right? As business owners, we want to be able to make sure that the products that we are using to launch ads are comparable with the market or better, ideally. So I looked up a few statistics. The most current that I could find, and I'm sure Crystal's way better at this, she could probably find more current ones for you guys, but the most current one I could find was 2020. So February of 2020, the average CPM was $45.33 per 1,000. If we hop back and look at the numbers, the majority of ours were around 20 or less. So we're almost half of that. The next one we'll look at is cost per link click. So of course that's how much it costs you per time it gets clicked on. The average cost per click on Facebook ads for the industry is $1.72. So again, if we hop back and we look at our cost per clicks on these ads, they range from 4 cents to 29 cents. So again, significantly lower than the industry average. The next one is cost per lead captured. So the average cost of Facebook lead generation ads for real estate peaked in February at $2.60 a lead. So ours for this varied a little bit. We had one that was, or a couple that were a little higher. So I will note the ones that were higher were on commercial properties, and that's kind of typical from what I see running our ads. So commercial typically generates fewer leads for us. So the cost for those is a little bit more expensive. Does anyone have any other experience with running commercial ads? Has yours shown any different?
I don't think has anybody here run any commercial? No. No, I don't think anybody in the room has run any commercial ads.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, so then the last one is cost per lead generated. So the average cost is $2.60. As I told you, ours were running on average 76 cents to 80 cents a lead. So of the 102 leads that we had, or verified leads that we had that were dispersed out into the program, we currently have 4 active clients that we're serving from those. I still have to follow up with a couple of other agents that are in the program to see how their conversions went. But for right now, what I have is 4 current clients. So I always do some pre-launch work, and feel free to jump in and ask questions. These are standard things that I recommend all of our agents do, as well as things that I do every time I run ads through social media. So the first thing I always check is our referral patterns, and I'm going to show you guys how I do all of this. Just wanted to run through them really quick, and I can certainly give this PowerPoint to your office if you'd like the steps. But so I check the referral patterns, primarily incoming referrals, since my ads that I'm listing and generating for our office primarily deal with listings in the area. I want to know where people are coming from so that I can market to those people in those areas. Second thing I do is I make sure that my marketing profile is complete and up to date. If I need to add anything or correct anything, make sure all of my plugins are set up correctly, just because it expedites the process significantly if it is current. I always set up a property specific landing page. I do this for 2 reasons, and I teach this in our market center for 2 reasons. We have a lot of clients who are super impressed with the fact that their listings get their own personal website. The majority of America doesn't understand the difference between a landing page and a website. So essentially, when we have those conversations with them, a lot of our listing agents, as one of their value adds, generates a landing page, which takes all of less than 2 minutes for you to be able to do, and provides the link to their clients. The benefit to you as an agent for that is when your clients are sharing that link with other people, the only person that people, potential buyers, are able to contact through that website is you. So it's a little bit different than Realtor.com and Zillow in that regard. I also make sure that my Twilio account is connected. If you use something else, that's totally fine too, and that is optional. The reason that I think Twilio is a little bit critical for running social media ads is because of the response time. So we know from research that social media ads, you have kind of a 2 to 5 minute window to respond to those people, because I'm sure all of you have Facebook or Instagram or some sort of social media and you scroll. So 5 minutes later, you may not even remember you clicked on an ad. And so that's the window that we work with. So I put all of our ads on a smart plan that auto texts them from my Twilio account immediately when they click on it. So that instant response is there, and I can still have dinner with my family and not be interrupted. So the other thing that it does that I find very helpful, especially in a lead generation program capacity where I'm distributing these leads to our agents, is that it scrubs the number to make sure it's valid. So I'm not sending out leads to our agents that have invalid numbers. So when it comes in as a lead, it will tell you if you have your Twilio account set up and it's tried to text them and the number couldn't go through. It will tell you A, if the number is invalid, and B, if they have rejected receiving any kind of text messages. So it kind of helps you avoid 2 areas in that regard. Also, making sure that your correct Facebook page is connected for both publishing and advertisements. So as we started launching these same programs for our teams here in our office, it's important to know that if you're running ads on the team Facebook page, that your personal Facebook profile, so whatever yours is, like mine is under my personal name, I have to be set up as an administrator on the team page through the Facebook portfolio, as well as given the rights to publish content on that page through your command marketing profile. So if you have questions regarding that, I'm sure Crystal or your Market Center tech trainer can help you kind of navigate those. But those are 2 critical pieces for you to be able to publish from the team page. So, and then the next step is going to be to set up a generic smart plan. And by generic, I mean that the text is not property specific. If you are only running 1 or 2 ads a month, you can certainly make the text property specific. For us, because we run so many ads, I make them very generic to save time for me. So it's just a text message and an email that reaches out, acknowledging that they had interest in a property, telling them who we are and that we'd like to help them, but not putting in property address or any specific information other than the lead's first name and last name. So that makes it a little bit more personal. And then the last part is brainstorming and generating buzzwords. So this is important for who you're targeting and your target audience. If you have, an equestrian property or a horse ranch and you're targeting, business people out of Denver, might not be a great fit, right? So just kind of thinking about the property, what it has to offer, who might be in the market for that type of property, and just making some notes so that you can glance at them as you go to build that audience for the ad. So any questions so far about the pre-launch work? Okay. So there is slides on here that break down how I go through each part of the campaign, but I'm going to show you that in person. I'll send you these slides so you have these for reference. So we're going to hop over into command. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check and make sure that my marketing profile is complete. So to do that, you're going to hop under your name and you're going to go to settings. When your settings open, you're going to go to connect settings and go to marketing profile. Oops, I double clicked. Okay. So here you just want to make sure that your photos are uploaded, your logos are uploaded. So this is a benefit to you for 2 reasons. A, it's going to save you typing. B, it's going to protect you because there's a lot of things that are taken care of on here, like your broker logo, your ownership statement, all of those type of things when you run an ad that you can get fined for if they're not on there. So it's to your best advantage to just go ahead and make sure that it's current. I also check, let's see, to make sure that all of my connections are still good. When command first came out, we know that it can be a little bit glitchy. So I've had a little trouble in the past, not in the last 6 months, but previous to that, of it disconnecting my account. So I always want to make sure that my post scheduling and my ads manager are both connected. When I mentioned for teams that you need to be made an administrator on the team page on Facebook, as well as an ads manager through command, there are 2 separate ones that you're going to have to connect. Okay, so just make sure that you're aware of that. So one of them is just to be able to post non-paid campaigns. The other is actually to handle the financial paid ad campaigns. Okay, so looks like everything is connected and we're good there. The next thing I do is I hop down here to the consumer applet. I go up to the top and I select landing pages. I'm going to go over here and create a new page. I'm going to select as a landing page because I want this to stand alone. Sorry about that. I'm gonna hit create page. First recommendation I always make is to change the name to the property address that you are going to be utilizing. It just helps keep all of your ads organized as you continue. Okay, so for ours, again, I keep it very generic. I don't advertise anything in my name. It's all advertised in the office's name. So for that reason, I don't do any agent branding on these pages. If it's for a personal listing of mine or something, I will, but for the lead generation program, I don't. So all I do is I drop a lead form and I drop a listing below the lead form. Then I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to hit configure widgets. On my lead form, I always change this to something a little more personal. Okay, and then hit save and apply. Then I'm going to go up here, go to my second thing, which is my listing, select browse listings, going to search my property address again and assign it. Going to select that. Okay, so from this point, you can decide if you want to change, you know, the major photo that they're going to see. I rarely worry little about that since it's on the landing page section. So I'll just hit save and apply. Last step is to publish page. It's going to ask you if you're okay with that. You're going to say yes. Okay, so now when you go into landing pages, you're going to have this new page at the very top that's live. I'm going to hop over here and I'm going to change URL. I do this for two reasons. One, when you set up the ad, it's extremely confusing to try to memorize all of this jarbled numbers and letters at the end. If I put the property address in there, I can easily see it and assign it to that ad. Also, when I send this link to clients, if it's just a bunch of random letters and numbers, they're less likely to actually click on it. It looks more like clickbait or trash. So now I have my page created and it's active and ready to go, so I can assign. And then the last thing is just thinking about some buzzwords. So this particular property is priced at 680 something thousand. So it's a little bit of a higher end property for here in Stillwater. I want to look at my referrals. So I'm going to hop over here to the referrals applet. I'm going to jump to the map. While I'm on the map, I'm going to search Stillwater, since that is where this property is located. Once Stillwater area pops up, I'm going to do the drop down and I'm going to look at referral patterns. It's going to default to outgoing referrals from where we are sending ours to. I'm going to change that up here to received to see where people are moving to Stillwater from. So again, being a little higher end luxury type property in Stillwater, I may start considering, I may run 2 ads for this one, and I may target San Diego area, since we have several that come through from that area. If we had more from the East Coast, I might run one targeting kind of that area. Then I'll also run a local one. So our primary referral, incoming referral, is from Oklahoma City. That's pretty standard. But when I run an ad for Stillwater, I can run it for up to 60-mile radius around Stillwater. So that hits the Oklahoma City metro area, as well as most of Tulsa. So then my second ad, I would try to target probably California. Okay. So now that I have that information, I'm going to head over to campaigns. I'm going to create a campaign. Oh, sorry, I forgot to show you the smart plan. Give me 1 second. So under smart plans, as I said, I created a very simple, generic smart plan. So this is the one that I use for lead gen and Facebook follow-up. Let's see. It is literally just the trigger event is that we get a lead that comes in. Once the lead comes in, then it sends them a text message, addresses them by name. It says, I saw that you were interested in the property that KW Local has listed on our Facebook ad. Would you be interested in receiving more information? Again, very generic. I do not put the property address in there because I would have to go in and edit this every single time that I listed a new property, and that's an extra step I'm not willing to take at this point, and this one has been working well for us. So I set a delay of 1 day and then an email. Again, the email is generic, says, hi, client's name. We would love to assist you with your real estate needs. Are you currently working with a buyer's agent? If so, please have your agent contact us to schedule a showing. If not, we would love to work with you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Again, all very generic, has some great information about the market and pre-approval. And kind of what that looks like. So they kind of have a heads up, provides a little value to them and gives them the opportunity to respond. We have had about a 50-50 split for responses to the emails versus the text messages. So they are very helpful to save you guys a little bit of time. Okay, before we generate the ad campaign, is there any questions that you guys have?
Misty, on the text, you may have said it and I missed it. What is the return on people responding to that first text?
So an overall average is about 41%
Okay.
for all of ours. Yep.
Gotcha.
Okay. Okay, so once we are in our campaigns here, we're going to create a campaign, select a social ad that's paid, enter the campaign name. Again, as I said, I always keep it with the property address so I know what applies. This is going to be advertised listing. So it's important to note on what is your goal. Advertised listing has always been one of our top lead generators. The advertised multiple listings, I feel like sometimes that overwhelms people, so they don't spend the time clicking through it and you don't get the lead count that you would if you do a single listing at a single time. Other people may have a different opinion, but that's what I've noticed with that. Some of the other events haven't been as lucrative either. We have done the event awareness and we've had pretty good luck with that. Most of that is going to be your target audience and having a little bit bigger spend for a little bit smaller return. So, okay. So for this one, we're going to do advertised listing. I'm going to select Facebook. Sorry, I have to keep moving my little window of people around here. I'm going to go to create campaign. First thing it's going to ask me is what listing. So this is a hiccup point that a lot of our agents hit. So I'm going to go ahead and type in the address. And it doesn't pull it, right? Saying that it can't find it. So it defaults to only my listings over here. You want to make sure you click that down and go to all listings and understand that all listings covers multiple states across the country and lots of MLSs. So it's not just pulling Oklahoma. So here's my listing. And one of the questions that our teams had when we started implementing this, a concern that they had was if somebody else on the team, a newer agent, were to generate an ad for them and they were to use their own verbiage on that ad and OREC were to see it and they were to get fined, who's responsible for that? And so in regards to that, a way that we mitigated that is we just set the precedents for our team that you utilize the MLS. So it automatically pulls text in from the MLS on here, right? Because it's linked. So when new agents are running ads for their Rainmaker, or if we have a new agent who's an independent who's running an ad for some other agent that has been approved, we just tell them, you know, don't create any new text, but you can copy and paste off of the MLS because then we know the verbiage is safe essentially. So typically what I do, I will just leave the text that's put in there, keep it fairly short. Most people, especially on social media, have a pretty low attention span to reading extensive things. So try to use any kind of buzzwords that they put in the ads or anything. Capitalization works well to catch people's attention. Some people use emojis, things like that. I would be careful to use too many emojis, because the feedback that we've gotten with too many emojis is it looks spammy and they don't want to click on it. So headline. So this is one of the bigger ones that we have looked at. We've done it both ways, where some have argued to put the property address in here so people can easily identify where it's located. The argument that I would make is don't put the address in here. And the reason for that is, one, it forces them to click to find more information, so you get more leads. Yes, they may be a little harder to convert, but also it gives you the opportunity to practice referral scripts. So if they're not looking for a property in Oklahoma and that lead went to, or that ad went to that person because of something that they're interested in, it still gives your agents the opportunity to find out if they have a need to buy or sell and where they're located, and potentially glean a referral off of that. So I rarely ever put the property address. Now, commercial is a different story. If it's a commercial property, I will put the address in there. But for residential, I typically will just put some kind of catchy highlight for the property. So again, super generic. Description, I usually, again, will have my MLS open. Let me move my bar here. And just copy and paste something off of the MLS in there. I know you all are looking and you're like, oh my gosh, they're on Paragon. That's so old. It's true. We are not afforded the wonderment of Matrix here. But apparently it's really showing its age is how slow it's loading. Okay, so I will open MLS up here. I will scroll down to the realtor remarks. I'll find something. Typically towards the end, there's kind of a summary of some of the great stuff. So I'll just literally copy, carry it over to my ad campaign and paste it. It does obviously have character count here, so you kind of have to work with that as well for this example. So we can keep rolling. We're just gonna go here. Okay, so I'm gonna hit save. So there I have my text, Facebook settings. I'm gonna go ahead and configure this. I'm gonna select my page. I run all of ours through our market center. Of course, you would run yours through your business pages. In destination, it's important to select the Facebook lead generation form. The reason why this is recommended is because if you use the Facebook lead generation form, someone sees your ad, they click on the ad because they're interested. There's going to be this little notification box that pops up, and it's going to have all this legal jargon in it that nobody ever reads, and they're going to hit OK. When they hit OK, that is giving Facebook the right to send you their contact information, and it's going to take them to your landing site or whatever web page you have hooked up. If you select site or landing page, it's going to take them directly to that landing page. But in order to get their contact information, they're going to have to complete that lead capture form and send it in to you, which is not as likely to happen, right? As people have to start submitting their information. So button label on this one, learn more has been one of the better ones to get people to click. They feel a little bit more comfortable. It really just depends on what kind of function you're launching the ad for. So website URL, this is where I always link my landing page. So as you can see, when these come in, all your landing pages are kind of randomized here. And if you leave the weird jumble of numbers and letters, it's difficult to determine which one is which. And so we're going to go ahead and select the Woodland Trails one. Now our landing page is attached. The next thing is audience. So you can just do a generic one. Like if I was building this around Stillwater, I might just do an auto audience. Most of the time though, I have custom audiences built that I use. So when you create an audience and you actually go in and start selecting all of the interests that people have in the area, you can save those. So if you continually market to an area like Stillwater or California or something like that, you don't have to go through and re-click those interests every single time, which is a great feature that they have. So, or you could choose to target your database. So for custom audience in this case, if you already have one created, you can hit saved audience. And so you can click on here. So like I have California commercial investment or property marketing or real estate buyer. So each one of those has different metrics that I've built out. In this case, I'll show you really quick how to build one. Okay, so I am going to generate this ad for Stillwater. I'm going to do, let's see if it lets you do 60, up to, nope, 50-mile radius, I think is the max that it allows you to do. So I'm going to do a 50-mile radius of Stillwater, and I'm going to click on interests. The important thing to note with interests, to generate a lot of leads for a particular property, you need to build a pretty substantial audience. So your interests need to be both relatable, but also a broad category so that more people get to see the ad. So real estate would be the obvious one that we would search for. And I would select anything that has to do with real estate because they either are looking, they enjoy it, they may know somebody, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and assign all of those interests. I'm going to go to finance or financial. Probably someone who's buying a $600,000 and some odd $1,000 home is fairly financial savvy or has a good career, right? You could also target specific things in the area, but for right now, I'm just going to show you those and hit save. So I have 14 selected. It puts them all down here. I'm going to go ahead and save this audience. So that way I have it if I want to use it again in the future. I'm going to save that section. I'm going to move on to configuring my lead settings. So another really important part of running your ads is making sure that when the leads come in, you can distinguish what they were attached to. So yes, when you go into campaigns, it is going to section all of the leads per property. But when you are in your database, you need a way to be able to tell what property they are attached to. So that's how you do that with tags. So I create a tag for every property that I have ran an ad for. If you run multiple ads for the same property, you only have to create the tags once, as well as the majority of this work. My smart plans, I'm going to go ahead and put it on the smart plan that I already created and hit save. Duration and budget. So this could be arguable either way. Most of ours I run for 5 days on the market, like what we're seeing right now. You know, a lot of them are going under contract in a day or two, sometimes quicker. So I try not to extend them out too long. So I will usually change out my dates to be around 5 or 6 days. My budget for each property is $20. You could also click in here and change it this way. And I hit save. Okay, so in the right-hand side, I have my ad built out, what it's going to look like so I can see it. Down here, your audience definition is important because remember I told you the broader you get, the better. So down here, it's telling me that I'm in the green area, which is good, but if I was in the yellow, it might be better. And so you want the higher end of the green or the lower end of the yellow. That seems to be the sweet spot, but it's telling me that I've defined an audience as well as I could potentially reach up to 500,000 people. So even if you're not a marketing major or enjoy marketing or geeking out at the numbers for marketing, these can be very helpful things to record for the ads that you're running to have high-end conversations with your clients, as well as for value ads. You know, if you're going on a listing appointment and can tell them that you can custom create a website for their property, that you can push it out to a guaranteed, 500,000 people, or however you want to work that. There's a lot of really great opportunity with some of the statistics and numbers that you get and feedback in the reports to be able to include in your marketing. So after this, I'm just going to hit publish campaign. It's going to ask me if I want to create it and what card I want to use, and it will go get approved overnight, and then at 12:01 it will usually launch, 12:01 a.m. So any questions regarding how we do our ad campaigns?
No, I think it was pretty thorough.
How many in here are using ad campaigns? Is anyone in here? You are?
How's it going?
Got one lead so far.
So Missy, you've been doing this for a while. What kind, are you sticking with listings? Are you sticking with listings?
So we do advertise listing and event awareness. We do the second and third Tuesday in the evenings, we do a pre-licensee study session at our brokerage that's open to anyone who is enrolled in a pre-license course. And so we do an event awareness campaign around that. And that one has been pretty successful, targeting Stillwater, OKC, and Tulsa areas. We obviously primarily have a little bit more of a narrow market on that, but it also gets us a lot of leads for recruiting, because people who are wanting to get into real estate, the majority of people don't understand the process about going through the schooling and that kind of thing. So they'll call and ask if they can come to it, and then we can have a conversation about what that looks like and help them get enrolled and that kind of thing. So.
Have you, I have heard from some of the other market centers that are running a lot of ads. A lot are running things like Keller Mortgage with some of their specials. Have you attempted any of that yet, just to get a different type of person that may just trying to get qualified?
Yeah, so we have not. That is kind of one of the next things that's up on our list. In fact, we just talked through yesterday after the meeting about the new updates with Keller Mortgage, new program that they rolled out, about doing some push campaigns for that. So that will be added into our budget, and we'll see how those ads work for us. But
What are you spending a month on ads, and what are you getting in results?
so we just started the program about a month and a half ago. And we have, I don't have all of the total metrics in front of me, but we budgeted $300 a month. So I usually will run ads over a long weekend. I should also state that if you run your ads over like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you typically have better results because everyone sits on social media on the weekends, as opposed to like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Also, the middle of the month tends to be more useful in running those ads. So end of the month and the beginning of the month, people are closing their books a lot of times, professionals that are in other industries, so they have less time for social media. So we try to run the middle weeks there over those weekends and run the ads that way. So we have a budget of $300 a month that we spend. And it's kind of, I honestly just break it up into how much time I have, whether I run 5 ads or 3 ads or however many. We have a total of, let's see, 22 active clients. Majority of them are buyers. And I haven't followed up yet to see, we had one that had wrote 2 offers for somebody, but I don't know if they're under contract yet. So
And what kind of time commitment are you putting towards the ads per week or per set?
So I would like to be able to keep it to about an hour a day, maybe an hour and a half. When I ran this last campaign and got a ton of leads, it obviously took me a lot longer to distribute those. Another hiccup that we have that teams won't have from an agent perspective. So leadership wise, Command limits the ability for us to put one person who's already on a team on another team. And we had been running our productivity program for lead generation through Command, but then we opened it up to our teams, so they weren't allowed to be on that team as well for lead distribution. So now what we ended up having to do is we run the ads through Command and we assign the ads through Monday.com. We essentially created the same platform in Monday.com to distribute the leads. So I have to copy and paste them out of Command into Monday.com and distribute them that way. So that adds some time to it. Eventually, when they figure out a way for us to be able to have one person on two teams in Command, or come up with a better productivity solution program, I think it will go a lot quicker. But on average, I spend probably about an hour a day, usually in the early morning hours.
And just like setting up the ads, getting the targeting, just that time, how much time does that take?
Oh gosh, that's super quick. So I sent out all 5 of those ads that generated those leads. It probably took me 20 to 25 minutes to launch all those.
So 25 minutes, $300, and you have 22 leads, essentially.
Active.
Yep.
That's what I do.
Right?
Doing the pre-launch work is really helpful. I think that's the piece that people always miss. Like if you create one smart plan, you can simply duplicate it multiple times. You don't have to go in and recreate it every time. The landing pages, keep them simple. It takes 2 seconds, drag and drop, assign the property, hit save. Like they're really great to be able to utilize for a lot of things, especially like if you're doing your own marketing on your pages and stuff. Why not use a landing page? Why not direct every person who's looking at that directly to you, right? As opposed to allowing them to go to another buyer's agent. So good questions. Any other?
Anything else? Was this helpful?
Yes, it was. Thank
Right?
you.
I don't know. I learned a ton. Misty, I always appreciate you. You've got so much talent. Thank you for taking the time to meet with our people.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not bitter at all that OSU, bumped out of the softball yesterday and that OU's still in it. I don't have any hard feelings against you guys. I just want you to know that.
I did not want to say a thing,
We have a diehard OU fan here, and so she makes sure to inform me every time.
Thank you for
Yes.
Well-
Well, when OSU beats her, when beat OU last week in the softball, I had to rub it in. I even put a little picture on her desk and all kinds of stuff. We have some good rivalries going here.
Well, we appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. See you later.
Bye. Enjoy
Bye.
your photos.
Appreciate it. Hey, send me those notes. Send me that PowerPoint. Thank
Sounds
you.
good. I will.